The girl points her sword toward the boy and demands to know where it is. She was the heavenly demon who had caused the Great Orthodox Demon War. She then grabs him by the neck and asserts that he knows where the remaining demonic humans are. If he has even an inkling of guilt, he would reveal their whereabouts. But little did she know, he couldn't speak because of a binding curse that prevents him from betraying the demonic humans. Seeing this, the girl, with tears in her eyes, vows to do everything she can to save him. She begs in a trembling voice, but our protagonist, the boy, laughs at her and mocks her. In a sudden rage, she grabs him by the neck and throws him aside, mentioning something about their first meeting, that she should have killed him when she had the chance. Hearing this, the boy has a vague memory of his past, in which the girl was giving him a potato with a smile. He remembers how he became the traitor of mankind and sided with the demonic humans. After failing to extract any information from him, the girl wipes the tears from her eyes and leaves. But as she's leaving, she hears something. When she turns back, she sees our protagonist writing something on the floor with his own blood. Though he has decided to reveal the truth, the curse begins to consume his heart. Even while his heart is being consumed, he tries his best to tell her the truth. Seeing this, the girl tries to help him, though she can't do much. After writing down what he wanted to reveal, the curse sadly takes over his heart completely. In his final moments, he recalls his past memories, and his life flashed before his eyes, and he also remembered that he forgot to clear his search history then, loses all hope, and closes his eyes. Suddenly, the atmosphere around him changes completely. Now standing before him is a cute girl who looks exactly like the divine blade he just fought, but in her younger form. The MC was confused and couldn't make sense of the situation. When he looked at himself, his hands were small and his clothes were clean. He couldn't believe what was happening because just a moment ago, his heart had stopped beating due to the heavenly demon's prohibition curse, which had caused him to lose his life in the arms of Seol-Ah, the divine blade, who was now standing in front of him. However, at this moment, Seol-Ah was just as young as the MC, just like the first time they met. He remembered their first meeting. Though he hadn't been very kind to her at that time, he decided to act kindly towards her now. He bought a potato that she was selling and kindly smiled at her this time. When he took a bite of the potato, his tongue got burned because it was hot. Seeing this, Seol-Ah burst into laughter. Suddenly, a man appeared behind the MC, and as the MC looked at him, he remembered that he was his personal guard when he was younger. The guard noticed that the MC's tongue was burned and shouted at the young lady. The MC stopped him and told him to hand over the honey cookie. When he got the cookie, he gave it to Seol-Ah, telling her that the potato was very sweet, and this was the only thing he could give her. Seeing this, Seol-Ah started to drool over the cookie. Just as she was about to grab it, her grandfather came running in, and Seol-Ah hugged him in joy. The grandfather asked Seol-Ah why she left on her own. They talked for a bit, and he asked her if she was fine. She told him she was fine and pointed at the MC, saying she had sold potatoes to him. Seeing this, her grandfather pulled her arm, bowed down to the MC, and apologized because the MC was the son of their lord. The MC told him that everything was fine and expressed his thanks by bowing his head and offering the cookie to Seol-Ah again. As she reached for the cookie in excitement, her grandfather grabbed her and, channeling his inner Usain Bolt, made a run for it. But the MC was fast, and he caught up with them and gives the cookie to Seol-Ah. Seeing this, the grandfather was happy. Later on, they said their goodbyes. While they were leaving, the MC remembered that Seol-Ah's grandfather was the Murim Alliance leader in his past life, and he was also one of the three Supremes, known as the Sword Supreme. The MC wondered what the future Sword Supreme was doing in a place like this. As they were leaving, Seol-Ah waved her hand. Seeing all of this, the MC still couldn't believe he had regressed to the past. Though it was impossible for it to be a dream because it was too realistic, he accepted that this was his reality. When they returned to his mansion, he heard a familiar voice. When he turned around, it was his second oldest sister, who despised him more than anyone. He remembered the reason why there was a gathering in front of them. It was because the clan head was coming. His sister came to him and asked if he had any plans to do anything stupid, telling him to just screw off. He ignored her completely. Seeing this, his sister became angry and activated her Super Saiyan mode and started to walk towards the MC. She began to insult him, but the MC completely ignored her again and told her that their father was coming. Suddenly, they heard a horse approaching. It was their father. He asked what the commotion was that he had been hearing, and seeing his father, who was also the lord of the mansion, everyone bowed down to him with respect. The father looked at the MC, then turned around and asked the minister if he had a sword unit ready, not one that is currently being prepared. The minister replied that the 4th unit is ready to go. The father then gave his orders to finish the 4th sword unit's preparations and come find their lord. While taking his leave, he turned around and told the MC to come to the patriarch's room by himself. The MC was flabbergasted because he hadn't seen his father in a very long time, as he had been working for the heavenly demon. When the sky turned dark, everyone was preparing to eat, while the MC felt very suffocated, thinking about the fact that his father had called him separately to speak with him. Suddenly, his father called out to his second child and said that he had heard she had achieved something in martial arts. The MC's sister replied that she had become a 3-star a few days ago. Hearing this, her father congratulated her, and she seemed very pleased to have received a compliment from him. While sitting down, she looked at the MC with disgust. Then the father called the MC and asked him why he went out on the streets. The MC replied that he had some errands to run, so he went out. Hearing this, his father seemed somewhat disappointed, and he got up and left the room. Then a maid came to the MC and told him that the clan head instructed him to rest well for today and come to the clan head's room tomorrow. He couldn't seem to make sense of this situation because it was so different from his past life. He thought that maybe in this life he might be able to kill the heavenly demon first, but then he realized it was impossible because the heavenly demon was the one who killed all 3 supremes, who were said to be above the heavens. At that time, the MC was just a strong demonic human who lived under the heavenly demon to survive, and he wanted to change the regretful life he had lived. He also wanted to live a better life. Although in his past life, the heavenly demon was killed by Seol-Ah, and soon after, the demonic cult disappeared. He thought it would be possible to live a quiet life, but he did not want to risk it, fearing he might end up repeating his past life's mistakes. So he decided to become much, much stronger than his past self and started to rigorously train his internal energy. He tried his best to cultivate the technique passed down only to the blood relatives of the Gu clan, known as the Gu Flame Wheel Art. Once he becomes a 4-star, he might be able to emit flaming internal energy, and if he reaches 7-star, he will be able to wrap it around his body. However, at the current moment, he's merely a 1-star, and he decided to become a 2-star as soon as possible, giving his all to achieve this goal. He succeeded in becoming a 2-star, but his whole body collapsed, and he felt very exhausted. Even still, he was very happy about the fact that he got stronger much earlier than before. As time passed and the sun rose, our MC woke up in his bed and his whole body ached just from becoming a 2-star. After some time, he got dressed and decided to leave his room. When he opened the door, in front of him was Seol-Ah, who was yet to become the Heavenly Blade. Thinking back, the MC realized that it all started when a crack appeared in the sky. On that day, monsters tore through empty space and came to Earth. This event became known as the Gates of the Demonic Realm. At that time, each sect of Murim worked to raise the only group capable of fighting against the monsters, known as the Swords Units. Every sect needed to have one, and the Gu clan had 5 sword units. The 5th sword unit was commanded by the MC's eldest sister, and the MC spent half of his life under her harsh command. It was there that he first met Seol-Ah. Meeting her after the potato incident should have taken place half a year later, but it only took a day to meet her again this time. Seol-Ah greeted the MC in front of his house, but he ignored her and tried to leave. Suddenly, Seol-Ah grabbed his clothes, pulled him towards her, and kindly greeted him once more. Then, her grandfather suddenly appeared and told her she couldn't treat the young master like that. While the MC was wondering what they were saying, the grandfather asked her to apologize and informed the MC that he and his granddaughter would be serving him from that day onwards. The MC was very surprised that the future Sword Supreme and his granddaughter, the future Heavenly Blade, would be willing to serve under him, and he decided to tell them to call him by his name instead of calling him Young Master, but the grandfather kindly declined. At noon, our MC observed the old man, puzzled by why the future Sword Supreme was doing all this. The old man turned his head and smiled at the MC, and when the MC looked at Seol-ah, she was with the other maids, stubbornly carrying the heavy laundry. Suddenly, she tripped on a rock and fell down, and starting to cry. Seeing this, the MC wondered how she could be so bad at chores, and how she could possibly possess the martial arts talent to become the Heavenly Blade. And when he decided to leave, Seola rushed towards him and stared at him with teary eyes. The MC asked her, "Why don't you finish whatever you were working on?" Seola replied that she was told to follow him wherever he went. When he asked who told her that, she said it was her grandfather. The MC realized they made Seola his direct servant because they didn't want to deal with him themselves. He wondered if it was okay to make her his personal servant because, at the very least, he was still the son of a good clan. When she got closer and tried to fix his clothes, he thought this might be fine, but she couldn't be of much help because she ended up ruining his clothes. The MC didn't know if the clan head, his father, knew about their real identity or not, so he decided to leave it as it was and went on to meet the clan head. Seola persistently followed him, and the MC stopped her, telling her to stay behind. But suddenly, she started to cry. Seeing this, the MC told her that if she finished her job quickly, he would bring her some treats when he got back, and he went on his way to meet his father, the clan head.